It is 6 o'clock.
And let her rip. Yeah, this is one of the things I was talk to you. Well, I'll take that.
All right, we'll call this regular meeting of the Northside Fire District to order. It is 5 p.m. on Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Commissioner Bowman.
Here.
Commissioner Roof. Here. Commissioner Adams. Here. Please be advised, anyone speaking from the floor will need to sign up at the front table. Please give your full name when recognized by the chair. Will you please all rise and move your hats to the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Maybe open to public comment at this time?
I've got public comment as a member of the public. I'd like to launch off this occasion of welcoming these firefighters and also this occasion of kind of do a little bit of a turnover. I'd like to start it with a prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Blessed are you, Lord God of the universe, who through your Son gave us a marvelous example of charity and the great commandment of love for one another. Please send your Holy Spirit on all attending this meeting and fill us with your wisdom, compassion, and grace. Send down your blessings on your servants, our firefighters, who so generously devote themselves to helping and protecting others. Grant them courage when they are afraid, wisdom when they must make quick decisions, strength when they are weary, and compassion in all their work. When they are called to aid both friend and stranger, let them faithfully serve you in their neighbor. May they protect them from harm in their duty, and reunite them safely with their families when duty has ended. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Any other public comment? All right. Seeing none, we'll move on to. I'll accept a motion to adopt the order of agenda as it's been presented.
I need to make one minor adjustment. Sorry. No, it is minor. The consent agenda. Okay, it's not really the order, but the consent. I'll wait till the consent agenda comes up. So
Okay.
I'll make a motion to adopt the order of the agenda. How's that?
Okay, Dan.
I'll go ahead and second that motion.
Been moved and seconded to adopt the order of the agenda as it's been presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion will pass. Recognition of successful completion of firefighter probation and badge pinning. Connor? Are you taking this one on?
I'm going to start it off, yes.
Okay.
For those who don't know who I am, my name is Connor Robinson. I'm an acting captain here at Northside Fire District. I'd like to thank the public and everyone else here today for giving us the opportunity to recognize our four probationary firefighters transitioning from the completion of their task pillars and probationary process into that full-time firefighter role. Ryan Jackson, would you please stand up here? Ryan Jackson and I met when the Westside Fire District joined the Selkirk Fire JPA. In those days, he was a volunteer firefighter with Westside Fire, and I was a Sandpoint volunteer. A couple years later, we both moved into the Dover Firehouse as resident firefighters. Over the years as residents together, Ryan became one of my closest friends. If you had asked me back then if I thought I would have the absolute privilege of seeing Ryan through his academy at Northside and through the final signatures of his task book, I would have laughed in bewilderment. Big word.
You made it.
Recently, Ryan was assigned to Battalion Bravo under my leadership and has brought knowledge base as well as inquisitive dynamic to our shift. Ryan's drive for a better understanding and more knowledge is unyielding to all of our benefit. Now, we all have our flaws, but despite Ryan's relentless passion for wildland firefighting, I am humbled to present him with his shield, marking the official end to his probationary period as a structural firefighter at Northside Fire District. Hold on for a second. Who will be pitting Ryan Jackson?
I'm his dad.
Thanks, Gary.
Congratulations, son. I'm very proud of you.
Turn and face Tammy so she can get a picture. It's going on Facebook, you know that.
Excellent.
All right, Josh Stuckey.
Make it easy.
Josh, as has been an unfortunate tradition in the upbringing and training of many probationary firefighters, you not only had to tackle the challenge that was your firefighter task book, but you also had to step up to the role of driver-operator on your first day and learn the ins and outs of pump operations. And you did so with a calm and composure that I'm not sure others could claim. Even while those around you became flustered and overwhelmed, you remained calm in the storm. This is going to sound cheesy, so if you're lactose intolerant, please step out of the room. Pause for effect. But in all seriousness, Josh, you are a rock in the foundation that is Northside. The stability and calm you brought to Battalion Bravo has become a building block in our everyday routine. I'm extremely honored and proud to have this opportunity today to present you with your shield that symbolizes the end of your probation at Northside. Who will be pitting Josh?
I'm dad too.
So exciting.
Chief, commissioners, family members of the department. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Engineer Tim Coles, and I've had the privilege of working closely with firefighter William Lanning throughout his probationary year. William, come up here, please. Firefighter Lanning has completed his probationary year with Northside Fire. Over the past year, William has consistently shown what it means to be a professional firefighter. He's arrived early for every shift, brought a positive attitude, and demonstrated a strong drive to help make Northside better every single day. That motivation doesn't come from his passion for the fire service alone. It's also fueled by the 3 boys he has at home who keep him on his toes. And by the love and support of his wife and family who remind him every day why this job matters. All these things together have helped shape William into the dedicated, passionate, and loyal firefighter we see today. Not only for the community he serves, but for the firefighters he serves alongside. William, your probationary year may be complete, but the expectations do not change, they only grow. You've proven that you are willing to learn, willing to work, and willing to put the team first. On behalf of Northside Fire, welcome off probation. Congratulations, firefighter William Lanning. And who will be pinning you today, or what?
You can give one kiss.
Tanner, sorry.
Hello, everybody. I know this is a little unorthodox, but it is what it is. Tiger, you're going to stand up here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tanner Wright. I am also an acting captain here at Northside. So today isn't just another shift or another day on the calendar. Today marks a milestone. Tiger, completing probation in the fire service is no small thing. It means you showed up when it mattered. It means you put in long hours, took the corrections without excuses, learned from mistakes, and kept pushing forward even when things were uncomfortable and tough. Probation isn't just about learning how to do the job, it is about proving who you are when the pressure's on. From day one, Tiger, you brought a great attitude with you. You stayed positive, you stayed hungry to learn, and you never acted like anything was beneath you. You listened, you worked hard, and you earned respect the right way. Not by talking, but by doing. You've proven that you're dependable, you've proven that you're coachable, you've proven that you put the crew before yourself. And most importantly, you've proven you belong here. You earned the trust of this crew, and in this line of work, trust is everything. We rely on each other in situations where hesitation can cost lives. The fact that you're standing here today means that the crew is confident having you beside them, backing them up, and trusting you when it matters most. But let's be clear. Coming off probation isn't the finish line, it's the starting line. From here on out, the expectations are higher, the standard is higher. You're not just learning the culture anymore, you're helping protect it. Whether it's how you carry yourself on calls, how you treat the public, or how you support your crew on the slow days and the hard ones, people are going to look at you. And Tiger, the part that matters beyond the fire service too, no matter what path you choose in life, whether you stay here for a full career, promote, or eventually move on to something new, if you keep the same great attitude you've shown during probation, you're going to accomplish amazing things. Skills can be taught, certifications can be earned, but positive attitude, work ethic, and character are what truly set people apart, and you've already proven you have been. We're proud of the work you put in, we're proud of the firefighter you've become, and we're proud to call you one of our own. Tiger, welcome off probation, and welcome fully into the brotherhood. Congratulations, you've earned it. Lucas?
What? Dad?
Dad?
Upside down or? You would think that I would know how to do this, but I just leave mine.
We share the same shirt.
Right.
The class B.
So I ordered a Northside shirt that has both patches on it,
you don't do
but I
any
sent it
like
without a
that.
badge tab.
Always.
Maybe it's underneath it.
But
Just for you.
Chief.
Okay, so full transparency, I have a Northside shirt that has a Northside patch on it, and they shipped it to me without a badge tab. But I am sporting some swag tonight. If I could have the four of you stand, please. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Charles Jackson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and the Constitution of the State of Idaho,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of firefighter
the duties of firefighter
of the Northside Fire District,
of the Northside Fire District,
Bonner County, Idaho.
Bonner County, Idaho.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Moving on. Prior meeting minutes. December 17th.
I would like to amend the consent agenda, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes, you may.
This does not mention the 12:23 minutes, which everybody was emailed, but I failed to get them in the consent agenda. So it should include 12:17, 12:23, 1:05, and 1:16. So 12:23 was left out, but you've all had them.
Vern, any comments?
Nope, no questions, no comments, and I'll go ahead and make a motion to
Amend the consent agenda?
Consent
Okay,
agenda.
so DB amends. PR seconds. Okay, so now, then we have to vote on the amendment.
And I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the amended consent agenda as presented
We-
and modified.
Before that, we have to vote that we are amending it.
Okay. I will go ahead and make a motion that we vote.
You're gonna make a motion.
That's why we have a chair.
We're gonna
I'm
have
trying
it-
to get a couple last motions in.
You're making a motion to amend.
I'll make a motion to amend.
It's already done. We just need to vote on it, on the amendment.
All in favor is.
Thank
all
you.
in favor is.
I wanted to make a motion.
He'll be here all week. Well, actually, he won't be here all week
I will
because
not be
he's
here all
bailing on us.
Okay.
But, okay.
All in favor
Aye.
signify.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. All right.
So now, would you like to move to accept the amended
Yes, I'll make a motion that we accept the amended agenda.
order of agenda? Second it.
Aye.
Moved and seconded to accept the amended item. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion will pass.
So there's nothing else I can make a motion on to the last motion? Going once, going twice, Mr. Chairman?
We're gonna have other ones where you'll be able to.
All right. That's making it.
Okay.
This is serious business.
All right. Is there a motion to accept the prior meeting minutes?
Well, that's just part of the, so just FYI, on our admin suggestion, and I did, so is that we, instead of doing the minutes and the,
Individuals.
would just do the consent agenda, which would be the minutes and the financial reports and bills paid.
Okay.
So we just, maybe a little bit less of watching paint dry for the poor people in
Okay.
the chairs out there.
Is there any discussion on the prior minute meetings?
I have none.
All right. Any comment or regarding the fiscal report?
I have nothing.
No, and as a supplement, I'd asked Tammy to take the lead on the fiscal report, whether she'll present it now or during her administrative report. Since we're in the process of streamlining, there's some new ideas that Tammy, the chief, and Carmen have had. So I think tonight is as good a night as any to start, and then we can go ahead and just build on that in subsequent meetings once the full board's seated.
Sure.
I don't have anything to add. I emailed you the summary.
Right.
Things that I thought I should bring to your attention, things that I wanted to research to make sure we had the full picture of what we were paying this past month. And I guess the one thing I do have to add is we did get our check from the county today for $369,000, and that'll go in the bank tomorrow. And then I will
Let's
move
party.
the majority of that to LGIP. Suggestion for the following agenda is that we discuss LGIP and how we want to contain those funds,
Okay.
name those funds. Other than that, I don't have anything else unless you have any questions.
And all the bills are being paid. See, Vern signed.
Yes,
Dave's
and-
just got to sign that.
Yep.
Oh, great. Okay.
So now I will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Gotcha. So moved.
I'll go ahead and second it.
Been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will pass. Oath of office. Gary? You can sit in my spot if
That's
you
all right.
really want.
I'm gonna sit out of the audience.
You stay right where you are.
For those of you that don't know, this is the transition of board, and Commissioner Root is exiting the board, and Derek Galler is joining. So we're going to do an oath. Again, you can repeat after me if you are able to read it.
I will. I'll do both.
So I'm just going to read the whole thing, and then I'll let you read it after me.
Oh, of course.
And when you do so, please raise your.
Should have already done it. I wasn't.
This is the oath of office for Northside Fire Protection District, State of Idaho, County of Bonner. I, please state your name.
Derek Galler.
I, Willard Michael Adams.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and the laws of the State of Idaho, and that I will, to the best of my ability, faithfully perform the duties of the Office of Commissioner for the Northside Fire Protection District, Bonner County, Idaho, dated this 21st day of January 2026.
I
Do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the State of Idaho,
and that I will, to the best of my ability, faithfully perform the duties of the Office of Commissioner for the Northside Fire Protection District, Bonner County, Idaho, dated this 21st day of January 2026. So help me God.
Welcome back. You can keep those. I have.
Do you want to maybe tell the
Later.
Anybody that wants to leave is more than welcome to leave. If you were just here for the swearing in of commissioners or maybe firefighters.
I actually have a brief thing I'd like to say on my initiation here.
Go ahead, Gary.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm honored to be sworn in as a commissioner for Sub-District 3 of the Northside Fire District. I thank the members of the public, the members of the board, and the staff of Northside Fire who encouraged me to step forward and volunteer for this office. I'm determined to bring innovation, business acumen, and out-of-the-box thinking and approaches to the Board of Commissioners for Northside Fire. So let me begin by saying this. Today begins the golden age of Northside Fire. We will have to fix some things, most notably our funding and expenditure balance, before large improvements will become apparent. But I am determined to roll up my sleeves, see they're rolled up already, and work tirelessly and ceaselessly to achieve that goal. In preparation for today, I've done some due diligence, and I wish to share what I've learned, especially concerns that have come to mind, because again, I think the rubber needs to hit the road here and now. We need to get some things done very, very quickly. I know that's not how government usually works, but that's how I would like Northside Fire to work. Now, the concerns I'm about to share are motivated purely by my desire to make sure our organization is legally covered, safe, and fiscally responsible. So first, I would like to call on the board to get together, and I think we need to review our meeting procedures and practices against the latest guidance with regard to open meeting laws. I believe we need to ensure compliance with respect to the 2025 guidance from the Office of the Attorney General for the State of Idaho with regard to open meeting laws, and I think there are some issues there that call for discussion. I call for the board to schedule a special meeting as soon as possible, preferably this week, to enter into executive session and discuss and review potential involvement of legal counsel to restructure our meetings to ensure we're in compliance and to evaluate the validity of decisions made at recent meetings. I believe this is urgent and necessary to ensure that we follow the laws and principles of open government completely and unequivocally. Second, I believe we need a special meeting urgently again this week if possible to discuss cash burn rate reduction. I believe we need to take a more sweeping approach to our cost cutting and bring our spending into line with our resources in real terms without gambling on the outcome of future votes or levies or potential, and that is non-guaranteed future revenue. Third, I believe we should investigate all operational avenues that our public, that is the Northside Fire constituents, would like us to pursue and leave no stone unturned, including inviting fire chiefs from local geographic close fire districts with successful volunteer programs to come and give us a presentation and have a frank and open discussion with us of volunteer program management, and this should be probably another yet special meeting. I believe we should also appoint a committee to investigate hybrid and privatized business models, and that work should begin immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. We need solutions now. We need to apply our efforts with vigor and energy and work ceaselessly to bring our fire district into the golden age that awaits it if we work to take it there. Thank you.
Okay. Election of officers.
I would like to, so first of all, speaking of open meeting law, we just had a diatribe that was not on the agenda, which was actually in violation of open meeting law, but I'll just let that go. And I would like to nominate, pardon me? Way to go. Mick Adams to remain as chair because he's done a very good job in that over the last, in my tenure here, and I would like to see him continue. So that's my nomination for chair.
I'll second that.
Seeing nothing, I will accept it.
Awesome. Well, welcome back.
Me. Hey, that's pretty small.
No, well, you've done a good job doing it, and
I tried. I
you
understand
know, we should
some of
just
the rules,
continue.
Robert's Rules of Order and stuff like that, and hopefully we can continue moving ourselves forward and doing what's best for our constituents and our firefighters as Bonner County as a whole. Glenn? Okay.
Even south of the Long Bridge.
We've never had a vice chair.
No, but I just thought it would be prudent to do that so that if, you know, if it comes up in a meeting that only and that we don't have a chair, to have a vice chair so that it doesn't have to get tackled at that meeting.
And then we'll have to, yeah. All right. I will nominate Dave to be vice chair. Just time and service and give us something else to put on this.
I've been doing, anytime you're not here, I end up doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Is what it's
Either,
been. in the past.
either you or Vern.
Yeah.
Actually,
Dave's been doing most of it, so he's just continuing on with tradition. Are you okay with that, Derek?
Sure.
Okay. So Dave will be the vice chair.
Awesome. I accept.
Treasurer.
Awkward
As a reminder,
silence.
your treasurer and your secretary can be the same person. Just
That's what they have been in the past. I know local that they've been that way in the past. Just because of personnel, and that we do have Carmen.
Yes, I've met with Carmen and Tammy.
Yeah. So if that's the case, I would, are you okay with being secretary and treasurer? Or would you
What
like
are,
to be secretary?
what are the expected duties of
That's
secretary?
where
I'm
we're-
familiar with treasurer.
Or shall we keep them separate like we have?
I think keeping them separate, well, so this depends, because at some point, I would like, if I remain the secretary, to turn the minutes and agenda stuff over to admin. I don't know if that's realistic or not. I don't know what your load is, but it's been a huge undertaking for me that's been a lot of time. And if I was gonna continue that, I certainly couldn't also be the treasurer. It's just, it's too much of a time suck.
And treasurer is gonna take it, it's time
It's
consuming.
time consuming also, and I have been involved at some level with the treasurer stuff, so I'm kind of open at, I don't know that I have a dog in the fight really, but.
You feel comfortable being a treasurer?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I know you're good with money.
The workload doesn't scare me.
Because you've been through big budgets and everything with
Right.
your past history and
Yeah.
everything like that. Dave?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, I will nominate Derek to be our treasurer then. And if there's nobody else,
I'll accept.
okay.
Then I guess I remain as the secretary,
Okay. Are you good with?
which, I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, so.
You don't want both jobs, I don't think.
No, I definitely don't want both jobs. I'll agree with that.
Been there,
As-
done
as-
that.
Especially when it involves, minutes and agendas, which I know you've been spending a lot of time on. So, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm okay
We'll,
with it.
we'll streamline that and make it so. Myself will remain as chair. Dave will be the vice chair and the treasurer. Derek will be Dave will be the secretary and the vice chair, and Derek will be the new treasurer. We all good?
Yep.
All
good.
right. Do we need a motion on that one? You know?
What, how about we just,
Let's do a motion to cover
Just-
ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it's part of the
All right.
rules of order.
so,
I will, go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we accept the officer positions as noted, which would be Mick remaining as chair, myself as vice chair and secretary, and Derek as the treasurer.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to the election of officers as presented with Mr. Adams as chair, Mr. Bowman as vice chair and secretary, and Mr. Galler,
Close enough.
Galler as treasurer. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion will pass.
What's that, the DSLR?
Tony. They got a caller or just take your test?
They got a call.
Fire alert, okay. All right, we'll move on to item 6. Update on the disposal of the real property at 471 Cedar Street, Ponderay, Idaho.
Do you want to do that, or you want me to do it?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
I have a.
I wasn't even at the last meeting, so.
Okay, then you do it.
Okay, perfect.
When have you been in it?
We gotta sell some
You keep
property.
going off on these so-called training.
So, let's see which day it was. We recently had a special
16th.
meeting. We had a couple of special meetings, but on the 16th,
16, yes.
we met with the city of Ponderay. They presented an offer to us. So we had an appraisal, for those who don't already know, we had appraisal come in for the property north of here at it was appraised at 240. We had a real estate CMA done that came in at between 275 and 300. Ponderay had expressed an interest in purchasing that property. We had Vern met with them repeatedly, went back and forth through negotiations. We had a public meeting where they brought an offer for 260. Right, we had decided at a prior meeting that we would, since we had varying ranges of what the valuation was, we would like to at least try to get 280 out of it. We countered their 260 offer with 280. They came back at 270 and we accepted it. So they brought an offer, we signed it, we adopted a resolution as such, and we are scheduled to close on February 11th. Yeah, notice will be posted in the B as required by statute. I forget the statute number, but anyway. So that's where we are with that. So that should, if all goes according to plan, it will close on February the 11th, and we will receive for that $270,000. Closing costs will be split between the two parties, and there's not much, because it's a very simple, it's the shortest purchase and sale agreement I've ever seen. So that's just an update to let people know where we are with that.
We went ahead with the working with the city of Ponderay due to the fact that we've been with them for many years and they've done a lot. They actually gave us this property for our station and everything and worked really close with us. So we want to keep that working relationship very positive. Go from there. Tammy, you have anything else?
No, you got it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Any questions for anybody or comments?
Any questions, Terry?
Well, the question I have, I guess, is we're selling property and we've got, you know, the financial statements. What the financial statements don't quite reconcile for me anyway, and maybe this is something I need to sit down with Tammy or Carmen on, is it seems to me like we are still facing a financial cliff at some point. If I just take the numbers that I received as part of the financial report, okay, I can easily go off in multiple directions, one of which would be we're 100% over budget because our P&L said minus 53 grand for December. I'm sure that's not the case, but it seems to me we're lacking visibility. Doing this month by month is kind of like driving in the fog and we're not getting visibility beyond the next, actually beyond the last.
So, Mr. Chair, we're way off the agenda
Yeah.
here. The agenda is an update on the sale of the property.
Yeah. So we gotta keep
Okay.
on our agenda.
So,
This will be part of a special, we can have a special meeting and go through the finer details of
Yeah.
the property sale.
Okay, well, so the only thing I can say is I cannot lend anything to decisions where we have no visibility to longer term effective decisions.
That's fine, but that decision has come and gone, and what you're talking about is not on the agenda, and you all just listed a complaint about us violation open meeting laws, so let's not add to that.
Same spot. Okay. Is there any further discussion on the update of the disposal of real property?
I have nothing.
And we don't have to vote or anything on this?
No,
one?
it's done.
Yeah, so we'll move on. Update on the policy manual for 2026.
So I sent it out in email a couple times, and for the new commissioner, I made sure that he was in the loop at least a couple days in advance. But I believe as he was doing some IT work for us previously, he's probably familiar at least with the document. If you don't know it word for word, that's probably quite all right. It's a 90-page document. But we've had several discussions about getting our folks on the same policy since they train together, work together, and the staff is interchangeable throughout the stations. It doesn't make sense for them to say, you know, oh, well, I'm down at Station 3 today. What's the policy for here? So I went ahead, knowing that you guys were going to review it, I went ahead and put the cover on it. Ultimately, if you reject the policy manual, then I can take the patch off, but just in trying to move in that direction. So we've talked a lot about it, whether directly or indirectly. So what you have is you have the final draft, which is an update for 2026. The original policy manual was pushed out in 2024. It was done in haste, although it was a good product. It was done in haste because we literally had 60 days to stand the new Selkirk up. Over the last 2 years, we've identified what needed to be changed, some errors that needed to be corrected. I will mention that this has also gone to ICRIMP for review, which is very important. I try to be more of a values-driven organization than a policy-driven organization, but when you're dealing with humans, you have to have policies. And so where Northside sits right now is we have a lot of documents that have been used as policies, but across the top of them they say standard operating guidelines, and so I'd like to get away from that. There's a lot of operational things that are in the policies that really should be in standard operating guidelines. I'm not going to put in policy that you're to pull an 1 3/4 line, you know, on a structure fire or something like that. So what I'd like to do is get to the point where we're on the same policy manual and then take the SOGs that are upstairs, which are a great framework, and start adopting those SOGs for the 3 districts as well. So ultimately, I'm looking for either direction or an approval on this. And as I mentioned in the email, it is a large document. I know you've had some time to review it, but if we need to discuss the parameters and you want to table it, I don't think it's urgent. The staff of Northside has been given this document. They understand that it's pending your approval, and I highly encourage them to get comfortable with the policy manual and start to review it. So,
Have you reviewed it, Terry?
Well, so, while I was aware the policy manual exists, I've never had a copy until 2 days ago.
Okay.
It is, as you say, 90 pages or so. In the email that you forwarded to me after you sent it to the other commissioners, Chief, you said that there were still areas that needed refinement, I believe. I have no objection to adopting a policy manual that makes sense, but I simply did not have time to read it, become familiar with it, and we haven't had time as a board to discuss it. So I would like to table it and move it to another month on a regular
Okay.
business basis.
I'm good with that.
That's
Anybody
fine.
want a hard copy?
I'm good with electronic, as
Okay.
you can see, I'm on a tablet anyway, but.
Well, these will be back on the desk if you want to, if
Perfect.
either one of you want a hard copy.
Perfect.
All right, so we'll table that out.
And the refining, let me, if I might jump in on that, there are things that we will probably need to address in policy. There are also some legislation pieces that are probably changing. A lot to do with maternity leave and mothers returning to work and things like that we nowadays we have to have a policy for.
Right.
So when I talk about refining, I don't mean that there's errors in the document.
Right. Just gotta come in line with what,
Unfortunately, it's a living document. It's going to continue to grow.
it handles everything that's not covered under the CBA. We don't want everything in the CBA. Yes. We've already done that one. All right, onward. Set the schedule for the 2026 regular business meetings.
So this is just a formality that open meeting law requires that, or stipulates that if we we have a regular meeting every Wednesday, or every third Wednesday at 5 p.m. And if we just put that out there for the public at the beginning of the year that this is what our schedule is going to be, then we are not required to publish a notice that we're having a regular business meeting 5 days before said meeting every single month. So it's been on the calendar all along. If you go on our website and see the calendar, it's out there that we're having a meeting I just want to continue that on, get it on the agenda, make sure that we state that, and then it can be put on the calendar for all of 2026. So we don't have to jump through this hoop of putting the notice of the regular business meeting on to get it posted 5 days in advance every time. What we do then is we post the agenda for the meeting 2 days or more in advance of each one, and that's covers the
That follows
the requirement. Yeah.
So I guess I understood this agenda item a little bit differently. I would like to request that we move our regular meeting away from Wednesdays. Wednesdays are notoriously difficult for me, especially in the evenings. Or if it's not impossible to move them away from Wednesdays, then we move them to somewhat earlier in the day. That's just going to de-stress a schedule that I can't get away from. And I would appreciate everyone's cooperation on that. It's a new year. I think we can, make a reasonable change here. So that's my request.
What days do you have meetings with Westside? Are they on Tuesdays or
Wednesdays.
Wednesdays?
So JPA is Wednesday at 2. Then the second Wednesday is Westside in the morning, Sagal in the evening, and then
Or the third Wednesday?
third Wednesday. Yeah.
This was brought up months ago, and as a courtesy, I looked at my schedule to see if I could, but really, this is the only time that works for me. And before I chose to accept this position, I made sure that I could commit to the schedule that this organization has had in place. And it's not an option for me to switch it, nor do I think, the public is used to this. It works. We have decent attendance. Lots of times we don't have good attendance, but we have had meetings at various times a day for special meetings and whatnot, and it doesn't seem to matter. So for me personally, it does not work to change it. And that was the consensus when we discussed this back in November.
Wednesdays
Also.
are good for me. If we were to move it up to 4 o'clock, would that work for you, Chief?
Yeah, I would be fine. The only thing that I have standing is third Wednesday morning, so anything afternoon I would
Okay,
be.
Tammy, does that work for you, if we were to move it up in at least an hour? We're not getting, this is the discussion we had earlier too, is, doesn't matter if it's in the morning or later in the evening, we've tried all sorts of different avenues, different time frames, different dates, and Wednesday just seems, and it works for me too, because a lot of stuff I gotta do are either the first part or second part of the week, so.
And Commissioner Galler, upon your request, I did have this conversation with them, and we kind of circled back to the same thing where they talked about the days that you guys had them at 7 o'clock at night, and you had them in the afternoon. And
We even tried them in the mornings, and
Yeah.
it didn't make any difference. There's only certain times that we would get a large group to come in for our regular business meeting, even for special meetings, let alone that. So, if we were to move it up to 4 o'clock, would that help you out?
That would help out tremendously.
Okay. So I would be open to keeping our meetings the third Wednesday of each month, but move it up to 1600 hours, 4 o'clock.
I'll live with it.
That work for you, Derek? Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to set the schedule for our regular business meetings for the third Wednesday of each month at 4 p.m.
I will so move that we move our regular meetings to the third Wednesday of each month at 4 p.m.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded to have our regular scheduled business meetings for the fiscal year of 2026 to the third Wednesday of each month at 4 p.m. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will pass. Bank account access. You gotta get Derek on that now.
Yeah, so in addition to that, I also wanted to talk a little bit about, we made some moves, I guess, a couple months ago to get myself and Tammy on the account, but what we really need to be doing, and I'm just gonna put it bluntly, is we need to make Tammy an administrator. There are business items that pop up during the day, issues with positive pay, and it's 2 or 3 phone calls a day to Vern to try to sort that out. And I don't think that we want to do that to our new treasurer, so it'd be my recommendation that we increase the administrator access to Tammy. I was placed on there as an administrator. I'll be honest with you, my daily duties are not getting on the bank every day. That's what I rely on.
Yeah.
Tammy, who serves as my treasurer over on the other side of the house. So that would be my request, Tammy, if there's anything I left off, but ultimately that's what we're trying to achieve. And of course, all the same controls are in place.
Yeah.
The ACH, the positive pay, all the same things. We'll get the new treasurer on the account. Visibility to you guys isn't going to change, but if she's there and has to make a decision, especially with like stopping a check. If you remember, we had some fraud checks last year.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing, is just to make sure that she can go in and
Right.
make decisions.
Yeah, we can do that. I have no problem, we just have to get a copy of the minutes that, we'll
Does
make
that-
a motion to add Tammy as an administrator.
Yep.
And that we also add Derek. Vern?
For Derek, he has some paperwork to fill out that he'll have to go ahead and submit to the local branch. As far as the administrator, I can get together with Tammy tomorrow, and we can go online with Treasury Management and have me removed as the administrator, have Tammy placed as the administrator, and that would be the cleanest, easiest way to do
Okay.
that.
How do I get a hold of the paperwork that I need to fill out and submit to the local branch?
I went ahead and sent that to Tammy, and she'll be forwarding that to you.
Okay, perfect. All
And
right.
as the chairman had said, you just need to have a approved agenda and minutes, so that specifically it says, I'm being removed.
Right, because we did it before with titles, and they wanted the actual names in there. Am I right about that? Do I remember that?
Yes.
Okay,
As
so
specific as you can be.
we can go pull up the old ones and,
Yep. They said being specific is never overboard.
Yeah.
So I'm being removed, Derek is being put in my place.
So what we'll do is I'll entertain the motion right now to add Tammy as an administrator,
yep.
and we will be removing Vern as the administrator, and then we will be adding Derek as the new treasurer.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to have Tammy become added as an administrator, Vern to be removed, and Derek to be added on as the treasurer for the Northside Fire District. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will pass.
I think your former treasurer might have a comment.
And once again, once Derek has filed the paperwork, that will still involve you going in and signing.
Having to re-sign again, yes.
Each of you will have to go in and sign.
Again.
Yeah, again.
Okay.
It's relatively painless. It's the third or fourth time, so. So I will get together with Tammy tomorrow then. And we'll
Okay.
take care of that administration.
And maybe you get together with Derek and give him some of your insight.
Yeah, if you
of
guys
what
are
you've been
meeting
through.
tomorrow, if you let me know when, I'll do my darndest to be there and we can just take care of it all.
That way you can give him some insight of what you ran into and some of the expectations.
Tammy, did you want to set a time for tomorrow right now?
I can do, I think noon, I could do 9.
And I'm flexible, so you and Derek, if you have specific.
Could we go with noon? Let's do that.
Noon at Sagal Station?
Yes, please.
That works.
Gunpowder Road? Gun Club Road. Yes.
What did you call it?
Gunpowder.
Okay. Onward to the next item. Approval of the renewal contract for the development impact fee consulting with Tesser Bias.
So we've had a couple discussions at the board level about the impact fee and reforming the DIFAC, or the Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee for Northside, and I've reached out. We have a roster of folks that was approved by the board at a recent meeting. I engaged with the consultant, and before we can move any further, we need to extend the agreement with them or renew the agreement with them. We need to revet and or rebuild the CIP, and then we can get the DIFAC together and validate that and then return that to the fire board. So that's where we're at, and we've reached that point in time. I'm transitioning this project from Vern being the lead and the point person with the consultant. So I'm learning along the way. At the same time, I'm also going through this project for the other two districts. So with that being said, I'm just looking for you to give me direction or approve the agreement to extend. And I will, as a note, let you know that the cost of this agreement with the consultant can be paid for out of impact fees.
So I guess I have a couple of questions. I mean, I understand what impact fees are, right? That's easy enough, and I'm actually familiar with the consulting company with the proposal. But, while I also understand that the cost of the contract can be paid out of impact fees, I'm curious about the cash flow here, because 23 grand, which is what we're basically proposing to pay this company in the next 4 months, is a significant amount of money, or could be a potentially significant amount of money, depending on our cash flow visibility, which, as I stated earlier, I don't feel very equipped to have. And so, you know, do we need their reassessment? I assume we currently have an impact fee schedule as we stand.
We have a CIP, but it needs to be updated.
Okay, great. But, you know, if we're looking at, I mean, and I guess I'm reacting a little bit to what happened last November, where the day after the election, all of a sudden, it became, my knowledge anyway, I don't know how many others knew, that, you know, the district was gonna be running out of money in January. And that was kind of a nasty surprise, 60 days, right? So I would like to make sure that we turn out our visibility much further than that. And I'm wondering how spending 23 grand is gonna impact that cash flow and the presence of that cliff for us.
I think I have an answer for you that will ease your mind.
Okay.
So that money is held separately.
Yeah.
And that fund balance is rather significant, and there are very strict laws on and rules on what we can use that money for. So when you
Okay.
look at our regular cash flow and our operating, and I sat out here in the engine bay and I sounded the alarm, I was talking about our general tax, or I'm sorry, our property tax revenue and our regular budget. Over here, you have a fund that I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'm sure former Commissioner Roof
It's
knows the exact
substantial.
dollar. But over here, in a separate account and completely isolated, is impact fee money.
Okay, and that impact fee money, though, are you saying it cannot be used for regular operations?
It cannot be used for regular operations.
What can it be used for?
A new fire engine and a new fire station.
It can
That's
be.
a good example. But anything that were directly related to growth.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to buy additional SCBA's and we could articulate that to growth, we could go to the consultant and we could run through the rules and through the study, and that may be applicable.
Is it capital equipment and assets only, or is it also paying for personnel in a growth situation?
Not personnel.
Okay.
It's capital and growth related items. And my new fire engine and the new fire station is just a very simple way of putting it. But obviously if there's things that we're doing. So an example, the upstairs crew quarters, of adding the crew quarters so we could have an additional person and have volunteers stay here. That was all impact fees because it was directly tied to our growth.
All right, well, so if we can pay for this service as well, out of that account, then I would be okay with proceeding to update our schedule. As long as we have enough money to cover it and cover our
Yeah,
expenditures.
and it's money that we cannot use for operations.
And that's fine, I just want to make sure that we have enough to cover this, anything else we have earmarked without getting into trouble.
And just to go back to the you said something about doing it ourselves. I believe that it's called out that we have to use a consultant. So I can't sit down as your fire chief.
No, actually, I wasn't suggesting
Okay.
that we do it ourselves. I was simply asking whether now is the time to spend the money.
Okay.
And I think you've addressed that.
Well, not only that, we're sort of bound to, because it has to get updated is it 5 years, right? And we're right at that time. So we're kind of stuck with, if we don't do it ourselves, we have to go to them. And then there's also timelines involved with spending the money. So when we get that money in, it has to be spent within 8 years, I believe.
8 years, and you can.
And there's ways to get around certain aspects that can be adjusted, but basically, so the first dollars in have to be the first dollars out also. And so some of that money has been in there, we're maybe approaching, anyway, there's a lot of moving parts and pieces to it, and that's part
I
of
just
what,
wanted to make sure we're not impacting
We're not.
cash flow that we're gonna run into.
not
shortfalls.
only we're not allowed to, we can't,
Okay.
so.
Fair enough. Okay. So,
I will make a motion that we approve the renewal contract for development impact fee consulting with Tischler Base.
I don't know if it matters, but I'd be the signatory on it. So I don't know if that needs to be in the motion or.
And then we allow the chief to sign administratively.
okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to renew the contract for the DFAC with Chief Armstrong being the lead individual for Northside Fire District. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion will pass. Budget hearing date.
Me to take this, or do you want to take
I'm not. I would just,
You happy to, or you're willing?
Yeah.
decided to
really.
get Chief and my calendars all set up for the whole year. And we do have to have the budget hearing date to the county by the end of April, so I'm a little bit ahead of ourselves, but, we now have really honed in on the week that is best for that, when the county finally gives us the final numbers, instead of they spend about 3 weeks switching the numbers, and you think you have it, and you really don't. And then, of course, we know that the budgets have to be the county the second Thursday, the Thursday before the second Monday of the month of September. So I was looking at the calendar and chose September 1st for a wonderful date for a budget hearing. And was hoping that you might be able to do that at 2 p.m. Again, it could be really any day that week.
What day of the week is that?
That is a Tuesday.
Is that going to conflict?
It should be rather quick unless you have a lot of public.
This next Tuesday?
No, it's September.
September.
Yeah, we're at 2, you said?
Yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Time of day, sorry. What?
2 o'clock?
1400.
That's, yeah, that'd be planning commission at 4:30, but just don't drag it out. We'll
I
be fine.
imagine it'll be quick because you will have already come to
We
your
should have gone
decision.
through it, yeah.
Yeah, we should have our.
That's
budget
right, yeah,
carried.
it has been quick.
This is the final.
It's coming
review
back to me
complex.
now.
Unless the public comes back with some,
They won't.
Yeah, this is when we have to submit our budget, correct?
They'll just complain about it afterwards. Yeah, I'm good with it.
and we can always change it as we get closer. I just want to get it on the calendar.
Oh, okay.
I also will be
Historically,
here
we
all
were
week.
doing them in the middle of August, and I think we were doing like the 16th here, and we did the 14th,
Yeah.
and then the numbers would change, and I'd be like, oh, we got new construction numbers, and so
Okay.
we found a sweet spot, I think.
I'm good with September 1st.
Will the chair entertain a motion?
I will entertain a motion.
I move that we set our budget hearing date for September the 1st, 2026 at 2 p.m.
I'll second
to
that.
be held here at the Northside Station 1.
It's been moved second to set the budget hearing date as September 1st, 2026 at 2 p.m. at Station 1. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion will pass. Chief's report.
For the month of December, 43 total incidents. We had one fire in the district, one structure fire in the district, and if I can read my handwriting, I'm sorry, mutual aid given was 98, mutual aid received was 90. One of the conversations I'm having with some folks and potentially with Chief Gilcrease is the number of alarms in Sandpoint and commercial alarms. And I know he really wants 2 engines going to commercial alarms, but I think that's something that I'm going to continue to talk with him about. If you remember into last year, and I might not be right at my 6th month, but when we talked about ILS versus scaling back on the medical aid responses, we talked about those alarm calls, and I told you I would continue to monitor it. So that's why I'm giving you the mutual aid given versus a mutual aid received, so we can make sure that that is fairly balanced. So, and with that, we had 12 EMS calls, which is interesting to note. There isn't a sharp drop with the ILS calls going away, so it all depends, but they aren't a large majority of the calls. So something we just continue to do. So historically, just for you, historically, at the Northside commissions, that the chief talks about stats. If you've seen my chief's reports of the other districts, I generally will either give them a report or we'll send it via email. So that's what I do. A couple other things that I want to touch on really quickly. I'm excited to announce that all of our first out apparatus is going to have some new technology on it here pretty soon. It's called Safety Cloud by Haas, I think, Haas. Going to assume it's a German company. But what this does is this sends out a broadcast a half mile when the engines are running emergent, and it overrides mapping, satellite radio. For vehicles that are 2018 or newer, it will show up on their display, emergency vehicle ahead or emergency vehicle approaching. So this is either driving down the highway and letting people know in front of you, because I've been across the Long Bridge, people don't yield, people have their music on, people are on their phone, eating lunch, and they're not paying attention. And so we have a issue there. The other issue, and probably the bigger concern for me, is a roadside incident where we have fire apparatus on the side of the road and people are inattentive and approaching. So what will happen is when they reach inside this bubble, based on whether they're parked, if the apparatus has their emergency light on, it will be broadcasting. So
Trying to
this
cut down
is
on the looky-loos?
what's that?
Trying to cut down on the looky-loos?
Trying to cut down on the looky-loos, but I'm trying to keep your firefighters safe. So I looked into this technology and I thought it was going to be outside of our ability to even achieve, and then I found out that it was $399 per year per vehicle. And so I have ordered one for engine 1231, and that will be in probably within the next month. Based on our conversation previously with the use of the Northside Rescue, that vehicle will be in service. I believe the date that I sent out was February 3rd. So we will be pushing that vehicle into service, and I'll continue to give you updates on the challenges with that and how that's working out for us. Have some conversations with IDL about this upcoming fire season, not only what it looks like for us to participate in wildland deployments, but also their ideas for enhanced protection here locally. They understand that the fire districts don't have enough resources, and they understand that wildland fire and structure fire world, our missions intersect, and so they are looking at some outside the box ideas that may generate revenue for the fire districts. Been asked to not share a lot of details and not go into specifics yet because we're still in the negotiation phase and things can happen, but I expect some big news to come out in February. Based on the feedback from the board recently, I'm starting to work with a couple different manufacturers to make a 5 to 7 year plan for a new fire apparatus. Started those conversations already. We've deployed a couple new cell phones and new tablets in the department, and this is in an effort to ensure that we can get back to customers, return phone calls, reach out to folks, but not expose our staff to using their personal phones. We also collect information on scenes for reports, cost recovery, things like that, and those pictures do not need to be taken on personal devices, so that's the reason for that. T-Mobile I worked with the government division of T-Mobile, and we got a pretty lucrative deal through them for these tablets. So, and ultimately, I don't know the longevity of our MDCs. Our MDCs, as you know, they're limited, they're clunky, and we don't get a lot of good customer service from the county. So what'll probably happen is at some point these tablets will replace the MDCs. I'm imagining.
So on that, I just want to flag that because I'm intimately familiar with this part of it. Unless the tablets are Windows, they will not replace an MDC.
So they'll replace the MDC because we're going to go through First Due.
Okay. Is First Due at a level of reliability at this point where we can make the jump?
First Due is at a level of reliability. What we're having a problem with is the pre-call notes. What we're getting from First Due is all the ongoing notes for the incident. So what we're having, and that is a problem that needs to be solved in the county side of things. But for situational awareness, mapping, updated call information, that works. How do I put this? That works as reliable as the county CAD works.
Okay.
The issue is not First Due. The issue is where the information is coming from.
I understand that, and you know I'm intimately familiar with that, and I've had discussions with county and reviewed the transmission files and all that stuff. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is operationally, could we live without CAD today, and if not, what is the barrier between us and doing that? And when I say CAD, I'm talking about Spillman now.
We could live without it tomorrow. We wouldn't have the same situational awareness, and I'm not going to eliminate the MDCs until I know that I can't make any more advancements with the MDCs, or that I have made advancements with First Due that we're comfortable with. And that feedback will be from staff. But the feedback that I've gotten from staff so far is they wanted to get away from MDCs and they wanted to get on tablets.
And I'm completely on board with that. I will just say this, okay? Operationally, if there are things that we will not get on the tablets that we do get on the MDCs, we'd better identify, prioritize, and push on that immediately, because our MDCs are not new, nowhere near new, okay? The Northside MDCs are kind of limping along. I've been, in my previous capacity, I've been helping them limp, okay? But I also know that their time is limited. We're looking at 12 months minus.
Mm-hmm. And I don't have the money to replace them.
Are you still using the tough books?
That's what, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but those tough books are aging, and they're aging badly.
Yeah, because did Sandpoint stay with the Surface tablets? Remember that? They went to something different?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of other features of First Due, including fire pre-planning, and that we're not going to get in the CAD. So folks can look at their tablet as they're rolling up to Home Depot, and they can see where the electrical shutoff is. They can see where the FDC hookup is. So there's a vision that's much larger than that. And a lot of that has to be communicated to staff. I have, leaders' intent has to be pushed out there. But for so far, what I hear from people is there's not a lot of love for the MVCs.
Yeah, I hated them when we were working. We were going away from them because they were always breaking. They were too expensive to fix. So that's why we went to the Surface Pros for a while. What are they using now?
They're back to Tough Books.
They're back to Tough Books.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tough Books in the 4000 series, I believe, these days.
So 3 last things. So I had a great meeting this afternoon with the county. We're going to start looking at, as the fire district's IDL and a county emergency management, we're going to start having monthly informational meetings. Joint Information Center, kind of an unofficial JEC, as it were. There's a lot of things where we intersect on messaging, and there was a lot of lessons learned coming out of Sunset Fire, not necessarily with our messaging, but how we could communicate and make sure that messaging is going out. You're still going to have the social media rumors. There's nothing we can do about that. But as far as pushing information, incident updates, thinking about this time of year, big storms coming in, weather watches, things like that, we're going to have coordination between the fire districts and county emergency management on that messaging. So pretty happy with that. I'm glad those folks jumped on the call, and there was a lot of excitement about working together moving forward. So that sounds like something simple, but if you realize the relationships and the silos that have existed in this county, that's a huge step. So another great advancement with the county is I had a great visit with the Planning Commission last night. Sounds like we have some meaningful conversations taking place about fire sign-offs. Reached out to the local chiefs in the county to get their input and potentially get them in a room with some folks from the county to talk about what does this look like. I have a vision for where the program needs to go to ensure that the public is getting served, but also that our resources aren't getting wasted. But I need to make sure that I'm not doing something that's going to impact other fire chiefs. So need to get them in a room, but it sounds like the Planning Commission is supportive of it, and planning staff is looking to help us with that. And then last but not least, I need to walk back something I said last meeting. I had said that the apparatus was listed for sale. It was put in the paper. There was a miscommunication about doing both simultaneously, and I'll take ownership of that, but I told you it was listed online. It wasn't. It has now been submitted to 3 different places. Is Tanner still here? Garage, Fire Tech, and Brinley. Do I have that correct?
Not with Garage yet, but yeah.
Not with Garage. Okay, but it's going to be on Garage? Okay.
Shift, ready.
So we had a misfire on that. It had been in the paper at that point, but anyway, that stuff is going up. So I just wanted to make sure that
20
I
lashes.
own, right, well, you know what, we all can be wrong. So, end of
Some
report.
of us more than others.
Is that all?
That's it.
Tammy, do you
Oh,
have
I
anything
have
else to
nothing
add?
to add, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I would
Mr.
like to
Bowman.
make a motion to adjourn this meeting of the Northside Fire District.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting of the Northside Fire District. It is 6:12. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right.
Oh, great.
Soon Derek will be doing that too.
Good to know. Please.
And then the paperwork goes through.
Well, one step will be tomorrow, have it one step closer.
Hi, how are you?
So, Nick,
Yes.
I see him on TV and
We just got out.
Bad.
We
But
can do
how
it.
effective they are. So
We can do it
sometimes
in a
when you
meeting
look
like
at
this.
these things, you
What's
always
that?
come back here
Sorry.
and you look
I
for
was-
Special meetings. Special
certification.
meetings.
Oh, right.
We can do it in a meeting, you know, like right now.
So
we say,
anything in the
we need to have a
future, you
special
can always
meeting.
look
Or
for underwriting
something comes up,
laboratories,
we can
the
do a
ones
phone
these
call.
kind of things. But I'm gonna
Let's
tell
have
you that for
special meetings here.
what you're using it for.
We know we each have different things going on, and we kind of gotta figure out, you know, like when we go to executive
It's gonna
session,
do more good than.
we gotta decide who's gonna go in.
Yeah. I mean, it might still have a
so I would like to request.
Yeah, always look for the UL.
couple of special
Underwater
meetings.
Laboratories always takes a look at those
One
things.
on meeting execution, one on finances. I
Hey.
am going to be very, very
You got your stuff.
available for this.
I'm out of extra large t-shirts.
We need to get on the same
Yeah.
page with.
We don't stock a whole lot.
So what's, how far out do you need lunch?
So, I don't know if we want to do that right now. or
Tomorrow I
if we-
have, I know I have a
you
new
know,
meeting tomorrow.
I want to follow up,
I have a
but
10 o'clock meeting tomorrow.
You wanna do one on finances, and the other one with?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I run, I
one
run.
on finances
So-
and one on kind of meeting structure.
I want to be on a mission to reduce the number of special meetings that we have, because we've had,
Two guys there.
things just keep popping up. So if we have to have one, that's fine, but I would rather combine 2 items into one.
That's fine. I was,
And have a meeting and a meeting and a meeting.
I was trying to be sensitive to the length of the meeting, okay,
Well-
because there's, you know, but,
I like to keep our meetings, if we can, I like to keep the meetings, less than 2 hours. Okay, after 2 hours, things just get out of control. And then we start going around in circles and circles and circles.
I'm completely on board with that, okay? But that's what I'm saying, I'd like to find 2 time slots. If we take care of it in the first time slot, we don't have to have the second one, okay? But I would just like to have 2 time slots so we're not restricted to 2 hours for the whole shebang, if you will.
You got stuff going on Tuesday.
Not every Tuesday. First and third, I'm on planning commission. Most Tuesday mornings, I try to attend the council meeting,
Friggin' kids love it.
but I don't have to.
Right.
It was just, it was.
I'm thinking about, I might have to run to Montana, but I'm hoping not to. I live week next week, that first week of February. May have to go. Family, my parents.
One of them.
I get it, I understand.
Well, I thought I was gonna have to go yesterday. My mom wasn't doing very well, and then my girlfriend basically said she's down for a week, so I was kind of bouncing between the two of them successfully, but,
I don't know if I misunderstood you, but if the meeting minutes and notes is becoming too much, maybe we can work together.
I'd like to fend some of it off, but part of it is if we could stop having 6 meetings a month.
Yeah, I know,
But
because
they-
when you do that, I'm not able to keep up either, because the other 2 have the same thing, and I mean.
and I don't, we're all getting older. I'm supposed to be retired.
I am retired.
It's supposed to be.
So, yeah, I mean, if I'm willing to keep working at it, but
If I could do agendas, and you could do meeting minutes, maybe that would work.
that's a start. Yeah, I mean,
If you need me to do it all, I can do it all.
well, I don't want to just jump out on you. I know that you're juggling a lot of stuff, so maybe if we ever get over the other hump of Northside not being a separate entity, maybe that would help too. There wouldn't be so many.
Anyway.
So how about, what if we do that? If you do agendas and I
Follow up on email.
just take that part off of me?
That'll be easier for me for sure. And I can do it, and you do
Okay.
it, yeah.
All right.
And so I'll start working with Nick for agenda, presentation, agenda items, stuff like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Or should I work with you? I'm trying to think this through.
We can collaborate.
Northside, Sig, I do it with the president or the chair, but you are the secretary, so maybe you want me to do it with you.
I'm okay with that. That's something that I learned today from her that I've been wrong about, and we're supposed to have a president, not a chair. It's in the statute. And I never knew this, it's always just been chair.
Semantics, I don't care, but yeah.
Semantics.
Well, we should probably
Change it.
fix it, though the statute says what it says.
So, would you be interested in having a meeting next week? Or would you rather have it this week?
Today's Wednesday, no, my week's already.
Hooked up, that's what I was thinking it would be. So, like the first part of next week.